Well, just like I had predicted, Daryl Morey sticks to his big boy guns, 2-5 in Rich Paul Cave, and the soap opera continues. Man, let's talk about it. Perfect. I can't believe that this is still going on. Isn't it wild how things come full circle and there's just a full-blown circus going on here in Philadelphia, and with a week to go until the NBA season, we are still dealing with this. This is insane, man, and it might go on a lot longer. We're going to talk about the news that broke just a little while ago. I'll tell you why this happened, what this means for the future, and all that good stuff. But before we go ahead and talk about that, let's go ahead and hear a word from our sponsor, BetQL. Do you want to get an advantage over your sportsbook? Well, if so, BetQL is the perfect app for you. Their best bet model scans over 350,000 unique bets per year to give you a best bet recommendation across all major sports for every single game. They cover spreads, over-unders, player props. They give you all the news, injury updates, and any other info you need to succeed on your bets in real time. They have some of the sharpest analytics. I just cashed in on a parlay yesterday from using BetQL. So if you're looking forward to taking your sports betting to another level like I am, go ahead and download BetQL from the App Store, Google Play Store, or click the link down below in the description and use promo code RB for 25% off of any subscription offering. Again, promo code RB, 25% off any subscription offering. And be sure to check out the special BetMGM offer if you're in an eligible state to receive $200 in free bets no matter whether your wager wins or not. Again, all this information down below in the description, and shout out to them for sponsoring this content. All right. So we are back, and we're just going about our week, starting it off on a regular Monday, and boom, Woj bomb. You know what that means? Sound off the sirens, baby. Woj puts this out. Sixers officials and Klutch CEO Rich Paul have progressed in talks over recent days on a resolution to bring All-Star 2-5 back to Philadelphia in the near future. Sources tell ESPN discussions are ongoing. Now, let me go ahead and simplify this for all the people that need it. Basically, the fines are stacking up, the weight is being felt, and the holdout is being pressured. The pressure is being felt here. And you know what? My best estimation is Rich Paul, Mr. CEO, said, you know what, 2-5. We heard the reports a few days ago after the preseason game. He said, you know what, I don't think we're going to be able to get this money. I don't think there's any way to recoup this unless you go back to Philadelphia and we find a way to make it work through that. And here we are just a few days later, and now 2-5 is getting ready to return to camp, and this is going to be really sloppy. Let's go ahead and look at the next tweet from Woj. He says, the plan remains for the Sixers to continue canvassing the league for trades, but the possibility of 2-5 reporting to the team has increased in recent days. Sources tell ESPN. The Athletic is on it as well. I knew this was going to happen. And for all the people that, tried to act this entire offseason like 2-5 and Rich Paul had some type of mighty power. No. Daryl Morey stuck to his guns, and pretty much he said, and obviously with other pressures from around the league, other GMs, Daryl Morey looked at this and said, you know what? This guy has 4 years left on his contract, and I am not going to bite. Like I said, we will make the move when it's good for us. If we get the right trade package, if we get the right compensation, if we can work things out for our team, because looking at our short-term window and our long-term future, we have to do what's best for us as a squad. And, it's really crazy to me because how many times, I feel like I've said this in the last however many episodes, like what 2-5 is trying to do right now. Obviously, he's trying to do it to get his money back. And let me also put out there, there is no guarantee that he even plays if he does show up because, we talked about all the different caveats, right? He could say, I have an injury or I have this or that. And honestly, he might not even speak to the media. He might take no questions, do his thing, rehab or whatever else, and just go about his business. But you know what's really funny to me is that what he's trying to do now, I've said it all along. This is all you had to do. This is all you had to do. But the truth of the matter is, no matter how many fanboys want to bring this up or stat geeks want to bring this up, and the fact of the matter is that you went out there, you played terrible in the playoffs again. You were a main contributor in us losing that playoff series, and you acted like a complete fool. You acted with just stupid immaturity, you acted pathetic. Maybe you had some pressure from Rich Paul, but you just acted stupid and idiotic. I'm going to tell you how it's the truth. Okay, he could have came back and done this behind closed doors. We could have helped facilitate a trade. He could have had his value still at decent value, even though everybody saw in the playoffs, beyond the fact that he can't hit a free throw and he won't shoot a jump shot despite putting out tons of videos. The fact of the matter is, now a prospective GM looking at this situation is thinking, well, why do I want this guy? What if he comes here and we criticize him, or we don't make this move or that move to surround his game? And with all these reports coming out, what if he then goes ahead and sits out with 3 years left on his deal or 2? You see what I mean? Like, no other player has ever signed a contract and then 1 year into the extension just said, screw it, I'm done. And the fact that it's 2-5, like, he just doesn't have that much authority to do that. And Rich Paul has been trying to play it up. And you know what? They're already caving. They already lost. The Sixers won in that aspect. Now, let me still say I am concerned because even with 2-5 coming back, and I don't think he's really going to talk to them. Because look, the relationships, no matter how many guys want to defend him, I know Doc Rivers is going to talk him up like he's some, thing from outer space and, we're glad to have him back and all. The fact of the matter is that Joel Embiid said what he said. There are certain things that cannot be repaired. And I just think when you look at the entire situation as a whole, he can't play for us. He can't. He's not going to come back in front of these fans. I truly believe what has been said about the fact that he doesn't want to play here. And he's just not going to. And if you think you've ever heard a normal boo, imagine when he steps on that floor on opening night. You know what I mean? It's going to be out of this world. I don't think he's going to play. But going on in terms of what Woj says, he says that the organization's hopes are unchanged. Get 2-5 back into Philly, onto the court, and ultimately convince him that it's still the place for the long term. And see, now, I also want to say I'm disappointed in some Sixers fans that I've seen and some people on the main stage that instantly believe everything. You know what I mean? Like, the things that I'm seeing today, how are we have to be better as a fan base. So after one report, people are ready to forget the last 4 months of what happened because of this guy's pathetic immaturity and based on the situation and where our team is at. We're ready to forget all that and just take this guy back open arms, welcoming? No. And I understand the business side of it. Yes, this is good for him to come back and for the Sixers. I don't think he's going to play, but at least try to get it on the public stage where, we repaired things. Things are okay. We're healing the wounds. And then Daryl's going to go boom and trade him. You know what I mean? It's good in that aspect, but at the same time, a lot of these guys are not going to be fooled. And, I just don't understand why people are just ready to forget everything that happened. Going beyond this whole situation, like I said, is the guy going to even improve? Is he going to take shots? What happens if he comes back and plays and he doesn't take shots again? You see what I mean? So we've reached that point. It's just not going to work here. And I don't feel good about it. And, we have a game tonight against the Brooklyn Nets. Nobody is really playing in that game. But after tonight, he will have accrued $1 million lost in salary already. And, bills are coming in. He's a celebrity. He's got nice things. And, he's probably sitting there realizing it and thinking, and Rich Paul's like, you know what? Well, we can't get that back. So he's like, okay, well, we're going to have to find a way to make this work. And honestly, I'm still not buying it. If you haven't got that vibe from me yet, I'm not buying it. I don't think he's going to come back and play. I think that this is just more so for Daryl Morey and Rich Paul to kind of do business and make it look better in the public eye, the public perception. But I still think they're going to work on something and try to get it done. And again, Daryl Morey has not gotten what he wanted. He has not received a big offer. There's no stars available. So really, we dictate the situation now. 2-5 and Rich Paul have lost. It is now in our hands to decide what we want to do. And I'm still on the train of, you find the best offer you can, and you go from there. And whatever Daryl Morey deems that to be, I'm going to trust the guy. You know, we went to war and we won. We won. We stood our ground. I knew it was going to happen, and it's beautiful to see. Last thing I'll end off with is, you know, if 2-5 were to come back and he calls his own press conference and he goes out and says, you know what, I apologize. I acted like a complete fool. I shouldn't have done that. I apologize to my teammates and my coach, and I'm going to work on my game every day and get better. That would be great. Maybe things could change, but ultimately, I don't see it happening. I don't even see him communicating with anybody, and I just view this more as a business type of thing just to get out of there. But it's so funny how you could have done this the entire time. Instead, you sat there and trolled and acted like a child, and now you're ready to come back because you got that money dropping out of your account, and now you're sitting there realizing, like, wow, like I'm really not going to get paid this year. Absolutely crazy. The whirlwind continues. The soap opera continues. I guess we're just going to have to wait and see what happens. I hate this. I really do, because I still can't really talk about the team and the expectations and all that until we see how this unfolds. So it is definitely a headline mania over here in Philadelphia. Philly will not forget what has happened the last 5 months. And that's what I'll end it with. Shout out to BetQL for sponsoring this content, the only app you'll need to beat your sportsbook today. All information down below in the description. Give me all your thoughts on this. What do you think? Is it just for the media? Is there any truth to this? What do you think is going to happen in the future? Give me all your thoughts down below. Appreciate you guys so much for tuning in. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And I will catch you on the next one, man. Peace.
Perfect.